Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Georgia Tech versus Florida State college basketball matchup on Saturday, March the 2nd, 2024. If you like all the free picks we do at Pickdawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Use the discount code PICK to get 15% off. We also have products meant for people who make big bets, people with big bankrolls, looking for that one-on-one style service. We offer those, but they're not available on the website. You got to text the number you see on the screen. So if you make big bets like I do, just text that number. But let's get to this one. Georgia Tech taking on Florida State. Georgia Tech 12-16 on the season. Florida State 15-13. Neither of these teams really having the season that they had hoped for. Georgia Tech just 7-7 at home this season. That is part of that problem. 5-9 against the number in those home games as well, and just 3-7 straight up in their last 10. Meanwhile, Florida State 15-13, 4-5 on the road, but 5-4 against the number on the road. For the Noles coming off of that horrible season a year ago, definitely we've seen a little bit of a bounce back, but not quite to the level that we've seen in prior years to last year. And I think for the Noles, certainly some glimpses we saw where this team could flat out play, and then at other times, boy, they just looked absolutely lost. These teams met a few months ago, it was 2 months ago, in Tallahassee. It was Florida State getting an 11-point win as a 4.5-point favorite. When we look at what Florida State has done recently, they've won 2 of their last 3 games, but both those games were at home. Prior to that, they had lost at home to Duke, at Virginia Tech, at home to Virginia as well. Most of their wins have been against the teams that have been kind of struggling as well, including NC State, who Florida State was a 3-point favorite over last time out. We look at Georgia Tech coming over a win against Miami at Miami in a game that they were trailing for a good portion of that game. Of course, the Canes really suffering this year with injuries. Their 2 top players did not play in that game, but it was a win for Georgia Tech nonetheless. They had lost at Clemson in a game that they were really not all that competitive, losing 81-57, and had beaten Syracuse at home 65-60 as a 2-point dog. It's been a lot of losing for Georgia Tech as well, and even against teams like Louisville, where you would think that they would have a puncher's chance, but they certainly just got punched and had no chance whatsoever. I think we look at the tail of the tape of these 2 teams, and it pretty much tells the story. Georgia Tech's defense has been pretty good. Teams shooting only 31.6 from beyond the arc and 42% from the floor, while Florida State shoots about almost 46% from the floor, but their 3-point shooting certainly lacking, and when it comes to shooting free throws, not good enough, less than 70%. When I see teams that shoot less than 70% from the line that don't have a winning record, well, it's pretty easy to see why. And Georgia Tech also shoots exactly 70% from the line, so really not much better there. In fact, they don't shoot well from anywhere, and that is the problem here. Florida State certainly not a pillar of strength on the defensive side of the ball either, and I think that is a little bit of a problem here for them, along with the boards where Georgia Tech should have their way. I'm going to take Georgia Tech at home, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, be sure to use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.